Hey everyone, this is Stevie Richards. Welcome back to the home studio. In today's video, we're going to try to answer the question, what's the best power rack for your home gym, garage gym, or any gym space? As a matter of fact, we always talk about limited space, and there's a couple offerings that offer such a small footprint that space may not even be an issue for you. So we're going to take a look at these. Also, I'm going to give my experience in using most of these products that I'm going to talk about today, and then my experience with a certain brand that I have some experience with, not with the racks, but with other products, and you may want to avoid them. So the reason for this is really the timing's really good because just last week I did episode 3 of the SRF show, and we talked about eliminating or trying to eliminate as much of the noise within the fitness industry. And I realize a lot of these videos I talk about are for like the X15 Pro, X20 Pro, G15 Pro. These are thousands upon thousands of dollars for these all-in-one trainers, multi-trainers, and then there's other functional trainers that we've talked about from like Inspire Fitness and other brands. And they're pretty expensive, but maybe you're just starting out, because I was starting out at one point, and that's what we're going to talk about, my path with this and my opinions on maybe what should be the best. Buy once, cry once, but not crying as much as if you're going to spend anywhere near $5,000. So these budget conscious type of videos hopefully help people to kind of get into their fitness journey, or some of these things are built so well, if this is all you're going to use, you're going to be pretty satisfied with it. So let's talk first, because most people search for these power racks or cages on Amazon. I sure did when I first started even trying to figure out what to put in my second bedroom of my previous apartment. So basically it was the same size as this second bedroom that we turned into a home studio. So what I ended up going with, bring it up right here. Not that. That was a little expensive. I went to Amazon. I didn't go to Rogue, although we're going to talk about Rogue in a second. But the brand I went with was this one right here, Fitness Reality. So Fitness Reality seemed to be something that was popping up a lot on Amazon. And also I was searching for a lot of their stuff, and they seemed to be a pretty strong offering at the time. We're talking many, many years ago. But the thing was with Fitness Reality was I wasn't quite sure if I could grow the gym space or grow what I need. Because you can see right here, it's a very basic rack. You can do benching, you can do squatting. You see the pull-up bar up there. Matter of fact, you can expand it right here. You can see all these different things. And I don't even think this was the exact one that I got. So that's part of what happens here, is the confusion between the models. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're looking at Fitness Reality, and there's Yes for All. They've bought little attachments with them, but I never bought anything like a rack. And you even have the X-Class cage and stuff like that, the X-Class light commercial with some of the cable plate loaded attachments, all these different things. But that's up to $800 right there. Then you have a 565. Then you have J hooks. I don't know if that's a Yes for All. That's not Fitness Reality. So it gets pretty confusing. Like we do have Fitness Reality attachment set for 2x2 steel tubing power cages. So my guess is that's not every one of the things, or that's not compatible with their whole lineup, but it can get pretty confusing. So let's go back to this one, because this is about the closest one to the one I had at the time, $292. Then you add a lat pull down attachment, which makes it confusing because what we have now is, it is now like $80 less. Oh, wait a minute. That's just for the attachment. It's $219. Wow. When I was looking at that, I wasn't sure. So you're talking about like $500 if you want this pull down attachment right here. Then you're talking about $511. They seem to have different SKUs for each thing. And then you have the power cage right here. Is that with the bench right there? Pretty confusing. So I had this in my second bedroom, just a power cage only. I had this right here. Come on. I had this right here. And it was okay. And I kind of knew, like, when I bought it and I got it in my the home gym area in the second bedroom, it was moving around a lot during the videos, because even though it has this particular crossbar right here, the weighted plate holders, they didn't even have any weighted plate holders when I first got this. So, but then you would have to now buy the attachment set in order to get the weighted plate holders. And with all these, in my opinion, unless it's bolted into the wall or bolted into the floor, it's going to move. You're going to need to load plates to weigh down your power rack with just about every one of these that we're going to talk about. Now, is this something I would recommend today? I don't think so, because I'm going to get to the Force USA offering, which is right in line with the cost of this and the modularity on the classic Myrack, which we'll get to after we talk about two other brands. I believe is the best value proposition, and you're kind of buying once, crying once in a little bit of a way, but it's nowhere near, like I said, buying the more expensive all-in-one trainers, multi-trainers, functional trainers. So let's talk about Rogue. That's what I brought up at first, and that's usually what people are going to look at. You have these Rogue rigs and racks, quality product. Nobody, you think about power stuff like these racks and CrossFit type equipment and offerings. Rogue is the way to go. You can expand it out to a monster rig like that. You have all sorts of options, squat racks, different kinds of things, half conversion racks. Of course, those have the weighted plate holders right here. Or is that a conversion series? Looks like that's just the conversion part of that. Like I said, it gets very confusing, but if you were going to buy something, like say this wall mounted rack right here, which is basically you're going to do your squats, your benching, your pull-ups. You could do RDLs off this. It's a pretty low profile thing, but you're kind of limited and you're not able to add on to this. Whereas other products you can add on. You have this monster cave. Now we're talking about the $6,000 plus range. That looks pretty cool. That's pretty badass. But you're talking about footprint. You're talking about space too. This is going to eat up a bit of space. And then you're going to have to kind of get the shelving and all that stuff. You might be talking about $7,000, $8,000 when you add everything that's picked. This isn't included, as my guess. Everything here is an add-on for that. But with Rogue, you're going to get pure quality. And obviously, I believe that when we get to Force USA, they've tried to mirror Rode and mimic Rode as much as possible with quality, lifetime structural warranty, and a lot of different things to offer for different budgets within their lineup. Now, one thing, talking about offering a lot in the lineup, which I think is a negative, Titan Fitness. Titan Fitness is what I call them the hit or miss equipment brand, or the hit or miss, a home gym, garage gym brand, because it's a hit or miss. I had a seated tricep dip machine, which worked great. I loved it. Small footprint. I was able to do heavy tricep dips without putting any kind of pressure on my elbow injury. It was plate loaded. It was pretty light. I could move it around. I really loved it. I had a storage rack. It was garbage. And they even, give their customer support credit, they sent me out a replacement part for it, and it still had the same problem. And it was just the whole thing, design, welding. The welds on some of these Titan products can be very, very hit or miss, or can be a quality piece of equipment, but the welds look like crap. There's a lot of different quality control issues. Their CEO, who came on a bit ago, said he was going to constrict the lineup and have more quality over quantity. And apparently, maybe he's doing that right now, because I was looking at racks here. T2 series power rack has nothing. And I don't know if that's stock or they're getting rid of SKUs off the site. Here's T3. Talking about $489 to $649 for the rack. And then if you want to make it into a full rack, like say the X20, you're going to have to pay another $329 or $330 to $380, let's call it. So let's go look at the X3. We have one right here, $660 to $750. So you're talking about, you're going up in price. And then the Titan series, nothing. Like I said, I don't know if this is a stock thing or they're redoing the website or what it is, but that's the thing with Titan. It's just, you never know. I feel like the company really doesn't have a vision, and maybe the CEO is still trying to wrap his head around everything. It's not easy to come in and kind of right the ship with something like this, but you have strength stuff here, you have strongman stuff, endurance, things like that. So I don't think they have functional trainers, but in this video, we're strictly talking about the power racks. All right, now we're going to get to Force USA, and this has been the bulk of, obviously my reviews here on the YouTube channel. And it all started with the original Myrack. This was the first product I reviewed for them. And everybody has their brand. Everybody has their favorite brand or their brand they're loyal to. So if yours is Rogue, if it's Titan, I wanted to give Titan a chance at the time, but I didn't feel like upgrading or investing that much money in a rack after watching a few YouTube reviews on how they aren't level and there's different quality control issues. I decided to go with Force USA. And I'm glad I did because this was like kind of like the gateway piece of equipment. And there's times when I see this original Myrack, and if you haven't seen the full review, I'll try to put it in the description below. Everything from the delivery where I put this into my Honda Accord. They sent a big truck, not a small box truck. When you live in an apartment complex and you get a freight delivery, you have to request a short truck or a small box truck to make it into your complex. I forgot to do that. I learned I had to meet the guy outside of the gate and I had to load the Myrack into my 2006 Honda Accord and it all fit. Every part of this base power rack fit in my car, which was kind of a cool thing. And I made it part of the review video. So it's kind of a cool thing to talk about. Speaking of cool, you can pick colors. So I've been eyeing up a blue Myrack forever, even though I got the G15 Pro. It's just kind of cool to have this and something there, but I'm trying to keep everything minimalist in the garage gym area. But you get to choose, and they used to charge more for the red and the blue. Now it's all the same price, $400. So $400 compared to something like this, like for an extra $100, you're getting this. Of course, you're gonna have to add on to it. So as we scroll down, you can add lat pull down cable crossover on both sides right there. That's $430, but you're expanding the footprint quite a bit. So I didn't get that in the space I had. I did, however, get the lat pull down low row attachment. That was great, and that was $300. So not cheap, but it's engineered to be compatible with this classic Myrack, and it's pretty good. And then you got the lat pull down seat, which I did not have because I didn't get the lat pull down crossover. I just used a bench here inside the rack to do my pull down, so it worked out fine. Different chin up bars. That's what I like about it. I had the classic grip. I had the straight bar. I had this hammer. I recommend this. This is probably the best one. It's out of stock, of course. But this one is the monster, the globe grip. If you're not messing around and you want some grip strength, which I have arthritis in my hand, so it's a little hard to do the globe grip. That was the only one I didn't get, but I tried it out and it's pretty amazing. It's built like a tank, 170, but I think if this was in stock, I would recommend this. Straight bars also are a real strong offering. And of course, you got the classic multi-grip that you see on the G15 Pro and other G models, kind of mimics that with what you get. J hooks and monolift, you get the J hooks Pro, which are upgraded from the deluxe ones I had. They re-engineered these things. They look good. And then the monolift, man, that thing is the weight rating 2645. I don't think I'm going to ever touch that weight rating. And here's something interesting about, and this is, we're going to look at the folding Myrack too, because there's a folding version of this for a little bit more. You get spotter arms, you get shoes, you get box tube safeties at an option for $100. This is fascinating because we just did my reaction to the X15 Pro, X20 Pro from Force USA. The X15 Pro is a half rack. The X20 Pro is a full rack where it includes box tube safeties. So basically, you're going to get the same functionality of a power cage. You're not going to get the weight stacks of the X20 Pro, but you're going to get the functionality of this power cage and be able to have box tube safeties and even safety slings. So if you have to drop out of squats or something, you can use these safety slings to protect yourself when you're inside that cage. It's pretty cool, man, to be able to do that inside the classic Myrack. And also, all three of these are compatible with the folding Myrack. You'll see when we get to that page. Dip handles, weighted plate holders. We talked about it with the Fitness Reality. You got to buy a whole big kind of like bundled attachment set to do that. With this, for about the same price, you can buy uh, two sets of these and still have 60, $70 left over. So you can get the landmine, you can get dip handle, band pegs. Definitely recommend band pegs if you want variable resistance with power bands, which they do sell at Force USA. They're very good power bands, really, really good. And then you got your flooring, you got your barbell, and you have your My Bench right there. Now, what I like about this, we're looking around at Fitness Reality and we're going through the different options of what the different packages offer, and even Titan and Rogue. It's a little confusing about adding on the compatible attachments to compatible accessories. I like what Force USA does right here, all on the product page. I can add it all and then add it to the cart and go right to checkout. I'm upsold within the product page, which I think is really a smart thing to do. I'm gonna look at this blue one again. That is so cool. Red's my wife's favorite color, but I don't know. Maybe both. How's that? No, we're not going to do that. We have a G15 Pro. We're good. But plenty of reviews on both of these products. The classic Myrack, we've done the initial review. I think we did updated reviews in a month, 3 months, a year, home gym tours featuring this, and also the folding Myrack. Here's the folding Myrack, which I think is a very powerful option. In the beginning, I talked about that limited space may not be a problem with one of these offerings, or, there are some folding ones with Titan and Rogue, but I'm not sure. I have used this one. And if you're going to talk about having attachments and be able to be modular, obviously the classic Myrack is going to have more compatible attachments than the folding Myrack. For example, the pull down row attachment isn't compatible. There's a few things that are just not compatible with the, here we go with the Magic Mouse Zoom thing again. Let's go back here. You have a ton of things compatible. You have a ton of attachments that you can use plus the fact that it's a couple hundred less. Yeah, a couple hundred less. So you can use that $200 to invest in attachments, bumper plates, barbell, bench, flooring, whatever you want to do. But you have a pretty good, decent amount of attachments. You have your J-Hooks Pro, you got your monolift, you got the spotter arms, box tube safety, the slings, dip handle, pretty much everything except the pull down and the row, and then the cable crossovers, because it folds. It doesn't have the same stability as far as engineering with that. So if you fold it in, obviously the cable crossovers are attached to it. It's not possible. So I really do believe if you want a more minimalist approach and you don't need all of those attachments to expand the footprint, folding Myrack is a very powerful option for that. And obviously I recommend one of the first things you get, obviously weighted plate holders, and then you put the bumper plates on there and it is weighed down. Can you bolt this down? Yes, but most people are not going to bolt it down. So use your bumper plates, your Olympic plates, whatever you have there. Another thing to note is with shipping, since it is being shipped via freight, I would get as many attachments, whether it's for the folding Myrack or classic Myrack, as many attachments as you can afford in plates and bench and whatever else you need. Get as much as you can, because the shipping cost will be a little bit more, but incrementally more, rather than just making that initial, say you order the barbell separately and the flooring separately and the bench separately and all this stuff. You're going to have to pay shipping to some extent for each one. But if it's all loaded up on one big pallet, it's basically the increments, which, you know what, I was curious to see this. Let's go all the way down Force USA and let's look at the shipping policy. So here we go right here. So incrementally, you're talking about if you're going to order, say you order, I don't know, the folding Myrack, but let's just say you order the classic Myrack. It's $49. Okay. But then you order a few $100s. Let's say it comes in just under $1,000. You're paying $50 more. Then you can see right here, you go 1,000 to 2,000. Now you're going into way different stuff. And say you want a bench, you want the flooring, you want barbells, and it comes out to $1,200. You're paying another $50. So how it goes incrementally into 50, and then it'll jump up to 100 when it's 2,000 or more. And you can see 350. So over 4,500, you're capped off at 349. But you can see right here that if I order, the more I order with this, it's going to be a minimal amount of shipping cost that I'm incurring incrementally as the cost of my order goes up. So it is definitely something to think about. And you can see items under 150 pounds are shipped parcel by UPS or FedEx, and then items over 150 are freight carriers. So with the barbells will probably come UPS, FedEx, but if they're lumped in, like I said before, two, you order it with the Myrack, with the bench, with the flooring, with the bumper plates or regular plates, and you have the barbell in with that. Then then it's all one shipment all at once and not coming at all these different crazy times. So that's something to consider right there. But I really do think the best bang for your buck is this thing, is the Myrack, the modular power rack, the classic Myrack, as I call it. And the fact that you can pick three different colors and they're not charging you extra for the red nor the blue. It just goes without saying. It can't be understated enough the value of this. And it holds a special place in my heart because it was the first kind of like piece that got me started to really build out the home gym. The fitness reality one, it was breaking down within probably 3 or 4 months of use, and I wasn't even lifting that heavy. This Myrack here, I'm looking at the one I want. That one was the one I had. This Myrack here was just as solid as the day I got it. And the person that I gave it to is still using it, loves it. And if he decides to get any of these attachments to expand it out, he's able to just keep going and really build it out, get the cable crossovers, everything he wants. So that's what I would definitely recommend would be the classic Myrack for anybody just starting out on a budget, unless you really have limited amount of space. The folding Myrack would be something, but you're not eating up too much space with this original one. It's not that much more of a footprint. So that's about it. Hopefully this helps you get started on your fitness journey. It helps you with a budget in mind. You know, we did reviews on like the Force US AG 3 all-in-one trainer, which was a budget conscious plate loaded all-in-one trainer. This here is the classic Myrack is something that I feel like you have a very affordable buy-in, but you're not sacrificing anything outside of having weight stacks or the cable pulleys or anything like that. And then you can get them by expanding out with attachments. It really is, honestly, I think it is one of the best products I've ever used in my whole gym experience since I started working out. And it's something I highly recommend for $400 and then adding it on or getting the color you want. It just can't be beat. It can't be beaten. Now I'm tempted to get it again because all I can think about is disassembling the G15 Pro when I go to move, but I can't think that way. I get great functionality and great use out of the G15 Pro, but this thing, it's cool when you have an emotional attachment or it's sentimental when you started your home gym with something. So that's why I feel about the classic Myrack. So if there's anything you want from the Force USA lineup, anything you decide, by the way, if you have any further questions, I love answering all your questions. Send me an email, StevieRichardsFitness@gmail.com, or you can comment below. I try to answer each and every comment or read those comments and questions and answer them here or on the live SRF show let's bring it up right here, every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, the Stevie Richards Fitness Show, also known as the SRF Show. Check it out, subscribe, click the bell to get notified. We go live every Wednesday at 3 p.m. And of course, we really thank everybody for using our affiliate links and the codes to help support the channel, get to save a little bit of money sometimes, and always grateful for you to really support our content. It's been great to have this interaction with the audience and be able to have questions. And it humbles me to no end that people consider me to be an information source when I'm just a regular guy that just likes home and garage gym stuff and just tries it out and has fun and hopefully gives valuable information to each and every one of you out there. So most importantly, besides everything I've said in this video, God bless each and every one of you. Have a great day.